the Edo State Governor, Governor Obaseki, has said he cannot do anything to bring the 14 Edo All Progressives Congress lawmakers back to the assembly for inauguration. He spoke on Monday during a thank you visit to the leadership of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. He said, "We have a dissident group that people elected and refused to be inaugurated. They were not prevented. They were listening to their godfather, who kept hoping and promising that he would unconstitutionally get the State House of Assembly to reissue a proclamation even after the court had settled the matter. For more than 180 days, they did not come. They refused to represent the people. Those seats became vacant. That is what the Constitution says. They went to court after those seats were declared vacant by the Speaker. There is nothing I can do that I can do at this time. I wish it didn't happen, but people were playing God and promising what is not constitutional. I'm not one that plant people into the House of Assembly. They on their own operated the rules and way it should be. They did it the way it should be. They believe what they were doing. The seats are now vacant. Even if I wanted to bring them back, I don't have such powers." You can imagine. It don't happen. Ugbele. A cheap particle. I believe we say ugbele. So that cheap particle now is the wrong belly. Well, that being said, the question that came to mind is that in all of those things that we were hearing at that particular time, people were like, "Oh, this man doesn't know what, or didn't know what he was doing." Oh, even the leadership of the national leader of APC came out and said, "Oh, this guy is a dictator. Obaseki is a dictator, that he did not allow these people to do this, to do this, to do this." And that was why he came out some days before election when he made a live broadcast. Maybe he felt that Edo people didn't know what they were doing. So he had to come out to make sure that the people vote for Ezeyamu, because he believed that this guy is a dictator. So then people were, because we're still hearing all of this, is that it was not in the hands of Obaseki, that these people refused, that they were in Abuja, that he refused to be inaugurated. And now, as we can see, he said his hands are tied. He can't even do anything. That even if he wants to, of course, which I know he would not even want to do that, but with the law, by the law, he's going about this whole thing, through the Constitution and all of that. So who is going to fault him now? But let's see what we see happen. That is what, from his own account, because we've been hearing different accounts before now on this, that, oh, he didn't want to allow these people to function and all of that. But the same thing we've been hearing from here and there, from rumors here and there. But now he has been able to set the record straight that it was not him, that these people followed Adams Oshiomole'S. And I was asking a particular question, because as soon as they came back to inaugurate themselves at a month before the election, I was wondering that if you people could do this now, why didn't you come even a year before, or even 6 months before the election? Why did you have to wait? Because I didn't know what they wanted to achieve by so doing. Because I believe, to me, even as I'm talking, I believe maybe they knew that time was going. They wanted to make their presence known. And they felt that, and they believed, and they had that assurance that APC would win, Ezeyamu would win, and that was their plan. So they wanted to make their presence known to the people, because for close to how many, whatever, you were there, and people are not saying that it was a Obaseki that did not allow them to function, that they were elected. But now this man is saying he did not say so, that they followed Oshiomole to Abuja and they refused to come back, and they stayed for how many, whatever. And if you don't come back, your seat will be declared vacant. So who now knows about politics now? Because when people see people, just like the way Oshiomole'S talks, everybody believes that he knows much. Oh, they will tell you he fought with the government of the day then. Oh, he was the chairman of NLC. He has attended meetings. He has done this. That he knows what it's talking about. He knows politics and all of that. And they will just call this governor Obaseki a mere technocrat who does not know politics. But when you talk about the real politics they play, it is all this politics of mago. Now we can now see who is right or not, but at least from his own explanation. And if you go by what the court has said, because you were not there to function, and if they give you whether 180 days or so, your seat will be declared vacant. So what do you want him to do? So many Oshiomole was deceiving them. he was deceiving them. And now see where they have found themselves. And those who, the appointees too, that were really, they were resigning because maybe they have been, because we heard that, we heard some rumors, whatever. Of course, before they could leave, they say they wouldn't want to work with the governor, as at that time before the election. You know, it's not just for anything. Some people are saying, oh yes, for these people to be leaving, those appointees, to be leaving Obaseki's camp, meaning that the man is not a good person. But at the end of the day, what happens? We could see all of those things. But now those ones are still coming back. You can imagine that kind of a thing. Well, let's hear what people are saying. The man said, my hands are tied. I can't even do anything. I can't do, even if he wants to, which I believe, of course, that one's just a political statement. He will not do that. But he wants to hang it on the law or what the constitution says. Okay. Well, you can imagine someone say, the governor is a tyrant. That is not true. The governor issued a false proclamation denying the 14 elected legislatures. He ran to court in Rivers State. The same legislature also are in court. So the governor will have to wait for the court on the issues. INEC cannot call for a new election until court cases are over. We should not encourage tyranny by governors against an independent arms of government. PDP sympathizers are only not serious. Okay, this one is even insulting them. Playing to party instead of good democracy. Here the Igbo man praising Obaseki. That is how they are. They do not care if one is wrong as long as it's PDP party. Shameless people. What about you? You guys, because all of you, whether you support PDP or APC, you know where you belong to. You always support yourselves. That is it. But according to the statement of this person, I'm sure some people are not agreeing to what he says, that it was, at least invariably, he's saying that it was Obaseki's fault, or is still Obaseki's fault concerning this whole thing. Someone says, you are a prolific liar. Keep your evil opinion out of the matter. Do you think that the people of Edo State are fools? Go and kill yourself. The work of enemies like you didn't work out. Let the traitors go back to Abuja to do their legislative work. They are now a history. You should go to court. You should go court again. The governor has no constitutional power to bring back those Oshiomole'S boys. They are not serious. APC, you better go and sit down after your godfather has already finished all the 14 lawmakers. You are now saying that what the governor is saying is not true. You better go and tell your godfather to go and apologize with the man of God and stop rubbish. If the governor is a tyrant as you are judged, why are the legislature begging to come back? You guys should stop acting as the law. Their case is worse now because they have not even been inaugurated, unlike the legislatures during Oshiomole'S era. All these guys were single-handedly handpicked by Oshiomole and unpopular in their words. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Take Eribo, for instance, like his other colleagues, he never campaigned in his ward before elections because he felt, come what may, he would be elected because he has a godfather. Their sins has caught up with them. So please remove Obaseki from their brouhaha. So I just want to even relate with what this last commenter said. Then why did, because you know they now later, they were 7 before the election. They were 10, but 3 again had to join the 14, making 17. Oh, everybody was happy, this and this and that. But now those people have come back again. Like this person said, if really they know that this guy is a tyrant, why did they come back? And they even accepted them back. They came back because they were inaugurated, but they had to leave. They decamped, but now they are coming back again. So by and large, all the politicians, they have their own flaws here and there. But when you look at everything by and large, Obaseki is still on the right track. Of course, he might have his own flaws, or just like I said. But when you want to look at everything holistically compared to Obaseki's and all of that, if you know that this man, he knows what he's doing. They say he's not a politician, but those who are politicians, they miscalculated. You see how things work. That's why you need to be cool-headed and you need to be knowledgeable. And I think that is what Obaseki has used, to win all of them. So guys, leave your comment below and let us have your take on this.